Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Commissioners, good to be here to bring you our report for the quarter. We're going to get right back into it. There's questions at the end, but of course, at any time, just raise your hand if you got any questions, and we'll go slide by slide if necessary. Like always, items to cover. We'll look at our operational highlights, community engagement, conclusion, next steps, and then open it up for questions. This looks a little bit different than it did last time in December when I presented to you. That's because as a nation, the fire department swapped from what was called NFIRS to a new system which is nearest. NFIRS was like 40-something years old and basically antiquated. This is basically the format you're going to see, so we expect a lot more data coming out from it, and we'll be able to share that with you. But as you can see, from January 1 through February 2028, we had a total of 777 calls. That was just fire response out of nearest. Total, we had a response of 1,249. That includes all fire calls. That includes the EMS calls, ALS type calls on skidaway from engine 305, and also the BHU calls. And then we'll break those down. For the fire call specifically, you'll notice we track a lot of data. This is not even a snippet of what we track, just to make sure that we're providing proper services. So structure fires is 24 at 2.42%. Our biggest calls, like nationwide, is medical, roughly around 41%. Outside fires is probably our #1 call. They could be any type of illegal fires to just open area fires to larger fires like we had this past weekend. That would be considered wildland because it was 50-plus acres, and we do have those every now and then. We do go out just for citizens assist, and that may be with smoke alarms or helping people with Knox boxes, trading out Knox boxes. False alarms, you can see they still remain pretty high, about 144 in 2 months. That means that most of the time it's a malfunction of a alarm system, and it could be due to anything. It could be due to somebody cooking and burnt something and it sets it off, to not maintaining them properly, and then they go off numerous times. Okay. This is a breakdown of day per hour. If you'll notice, roughly around about 5 o'clock in the morning till about midnight is our most prominent time for responses, and it does fluctuate based off of dates or days. As you can see, from midnight to 4 o'clock, we are still responding to calls, some more on certain days than others. As you can see, Saturday morning, so that'd be Friday night, Saturday morning, there's a few more people out and about. So these calls are not designated which call it is. These could be car wrecks to people sick, things of that nature. But as you can see, we also track when our busiest times are and what days are most busy. Engine 305, we always pull it out. It's our only engine that have ALS capability, so we do have a paramedic on that engine. It is out at Station 5 on Skidaway. It had a total of 147 independent calls that were for ALS. Of course, it also had its fire calls as well, which was seen earlier in the graph. We also track day and time for it as well. Patients evaluated that we actually provided care is 92. No value, what that means is we could have been canceled en route, canceled when we got there by the person that called us in the first place, or there could have been no patient there. So that was a total of 30. And then we have various other things that we do, providing support services and things of that nature. Behavioral health unit. 325 total calls to service. 53 of those were SWAT medic call-outs. As you know, we respond with CNT, SPD, CCPD to assist them. We also assist with Marine Patrol with dive call-outs, things of that nature. So they're more of a special ops type response. We had 10 fire standbys. Those are standbys that were in our area in Chatham County. So what happens is a paramedic responds out to give our personnel treatment, or they're just there to stand by in case there is any injury or a patient or a victim is pulled out. So there's 10 of those calls over the last 2 months. 26 calls were dispatched directly from the 911 center, basically up under basically the calls that we end up responding to. EPD is suicidal person, overdose, poisoning, and psychiatric suicide. So this is the call disposition, is what we call it, or call number. So there was 26 of those, and then the remaining calls, 236 calls, are self-initiated by our paramedic that is out and about, and they hear a call and know that that's what they need to respond to. So they self-dispatch themselves, notify dispatch, log it in the CAD, and respond. And then the rest of them are follow-ups. We have a lot of follow-ups. And you have to remember the BHU is not there to respond to your typical EMS calls, the tummy aches and all that other stuff. This is a specialized unit that is set aside that has specialized training to deal with, de-escalate any type of mental health, suicidal, and also assist people to get into a care facility or get assistance to either get them where they're no longer homeless, or at least get them some type of medical care which they may have not been able to take care of. They also assist those that need to be transported. This could be from their residence or from a homeless camp to a hospital or some type of alternate destination, and the BHU is very good at that. So direct transports, they did 49 of those, and then they arranged transport through either Uber or some other support services, 80 of those, and you can see on the right-hand side the different locations that they actually transport them to. Sometimes it is to the hospital, but the hospital is not necessarily the right place for them to be. Right? They may need other type of assistance. Behavioral health unit, as you can see, we basically run 12 hours a day. These are for calls from 7 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. That is logged in by 911 under the same call dispositions as you've seen earlier and how we track it. So we had 146. What ends up happening with this is it goes into a queue. And then in the morning when our community paramedic gets there, they start looking at things, and then they do follow-ups to see if they can assist anyone. So again, we do not have a nighttime BHU right now. Success stories, we always want to put those out there. These are just 21 over the last couple of months that they actually did. So there's 21 people that have been directly affected, and a couple of those I'll share with you. 2 patients stabilized and returned to work or independent living. Okay, so they were able to get out of an assisted living. 4 individuals were reunited with their families where they could have been separated. 1 individual returned out of state to resume mental health treatment and established providers. I'm not going to read them all over to you, but these are some of the successes. You have to remember that the BHU is a specialized unit to be able to help people where there is nobody else to help them. There are social workers, there are paramedics, there are numerous things, and really can't speak enough for them. And they reach those that can't get help somewhere else. And you have to understand, this may be just getting them an ID to get them into this system so that they can get insurance, which they do not have, or other benefits that they do have the right for, but they just don't know how to do it. So this is really a one-on-one with the patient. So it is definitely a specialized unit. I always bring the biospatial data to you. This is through a system called Genesis. As of right now, or at least until February 28, we had 1,499 that were logged in. This is the data that identifies mental health, self-harm, suicidal ideation, overdoses, things of that nature. And these are clinicians that enter this information in. Okay, so, and again, this is just a snapshot. This is Chatham County, 1,499 or almost 1,500 reported or saw somebody that reported that they were having an issue with one of these problems. There's many more that do not report it or did not seek assistance from January 1 to February 28. So that's just the data that we have. This is something you can see. It's all over Chatham County. It is not in one location or another. Okay. Going on to training and education courses, and this is just a snapshot of some of the things that we provide. We not only provide the recruit firefighter, which that's somebody off the street that does not know how to fight fire. We bring them in and train them up, and then they become firefighters. So that is just one snippet of what we do. We also provide EMR, EMT, and we can provide advanced EMT training, and we do as such. Fire officer, chief officer, instructor, apparatus operator. We do technical rescue. We can provide canine medical course. That's where paramedics are taught to take care of canines, basically a police officer canine that possibly shot or gets injured some other way on scene. That is definitely a specialized training. Pre-hospital trauma life support, high-risk medical operations, and other ALS and BLS training. Again, that's a very small number of courses. We do many more. The only way we can do this is we are considered training sites for National Registry EMT, National Association of EMT. We are through DPH, through the Office of EMS and Trauma, American Heart, Georgia Firefighters Training Council. We're recognized to be able to provide that training, and we have the specialized instructors to do that internally. We do not have to send people out to do training. You know, we don't have to send them for Forsyth or anything. We just have the luxury of doing it here. We have over 4,000 what we call company level hours. So not only do they attend training, our personnel are also doing training every single shift by themselves with an adjunct instructor, which may be their company officer or one of their own co-workers. So over 4,000 hours. Roughly, we tag about 40,000. 40,000 hours with all our personnel every single year. So training is very, very important to us, and we're doing pretty good at this time. Apparatus status and replacement plan. This is something Mr. Kegler asked us to look at and stuff. When we came over, the majority of our frontline apparatus was very old. Most of it around 2006's time frame. We were able to get some items. We put a patch on it for a little while by buying used refurbished apparatus. We maintain a lot of the 2006. So when we got those were pretty much at the end of their life expectancy then. But we had to make a move when we were at CES, and that's what we did. And this is what we're trying to address now. So our fleet composition at this time is aerial apparatus. We have 6. 2 of those are in reserve. Those are old. Majority of them are old. We have 2 newer ones, and I'll get into what we're doing to address them on the next slide. We have 21 engines. We have an air light unit, and basically what that does is it allows us to take a compressor on site and fill air cylinders if we have some type of an extended incident. Okay. Command vehicles, BHU vehicles, those are small vehicles. They could be F-150s, they could be Explorers, Expeditions, things of that nature. We have a total of 12. Current state, we're using them every day, responding to calls. We have increased maintenance cost, downtime risk, things of that nature, and we actually do have a lot of downtime. That's why we have to have so many reserves. Operational risk, aging fleet impacts reliability and response, and we do have challenges. Reserve apparatus availability is limited, again, because it's old. They're constantly in the shop for repair. Going to the next slide, our replacement plan is focusing on updating our fleet. The strategic goal is to maintain reliable frontline response capability so we can respond on time and get there on time to provide the service that we're supposed to. Reduce maintenance and life cycle costs align with national standards. Operational benefits is going to be to improve our response reliability, enhance firefighter safety, and increase service capacity. So we have 20 plus years. We have a unit that's 23 years old. Life expectancy is about 12 to 15. From 12 to 15, it's supposed to be in reserve, but these are all frontline. That's where it is. That's the reality of it. Near-term procurement, as you know, we have, or I have spoke before. You may not remember, but I'll state it again. We just received one new aerial. It's in service now, so it's a 2025. We have 2 additional aerials that are supposed to be delivered in June to July this year. Okay, so those will be in service somewhere around July or so, July, August, depending on delivery. So that will be all frontline aerial units. That's the big ones with the long ladders. 100-foot ladders. Those will be in service front line. As of right now, 2 of them are roughly 2006 models, and they are challenges. We have units that are daily challenges. So we have those that are coming in July, roughly 2026. We have 5 engines that are expected to be delivered in December 2026, January 2027, somewhere around in there, and that will be a huge benefit. BHU vehicles, we have 2 of those. Those are also, they have been bid out and everything, so we expect them in June 2026. We have 4 command vehicles. These are fire command vehicles. They're expected in 2026. Additionally, we're looking at putting out for bid 2 additional aerials, so we can go ahead and replace it. The 2 that we have now, which are 2006 models. And it could be up to 3 to 4 years before we even see them. The 2 that we are getting in June, July this year were ordered 3 years ago when we were still at CES. That's why we're getting them now. So they have a long lead time. We hope to have those out for bid in about 30 days. We're finalizing specifications now. And again, 3 to 4 years, somewhere around in there, is where delivery is expected. 5 additional engines, we're looking at bidding out the 1st of May. Delivery would be expected sometime around February 2027. It just depends on, supply and demand. And then we have a passenger van that we're waiting to bid out. One thing that Mr. Kegler wanted me to talk to you about is that make sure you understand that nationwide, roughly in 2020, there was a bottom out of the availability of fire apparatus and numerous other things, of course. But this graph here from the Fire Apparatus Manufacturers Association, or FAMA, basically from 2020 to 2024, there was a huge nationwide industry issue. And you can notice there that the blue line on top, that's a 45 at its peak, was a 45% increase. And basically what it was a scare tactic. When somebody says, hey, there's a disaster that's about to happen, what happens at the grocery store? Your milk and bread and your water is bought up, right? That is what happened here. Okay? So with that and the issue of COVID causing delays in equipment, parts, things of that nature, the decline of turning them out dropped, and then not having personnel to actually be able to put them together. So there's a huge gap. The good thing about it is in 2025, it's narrowing down, and it's about 13% off, okay, as compared to what it was originally. So the availability now of an engine still could be around 2 years, but now they're saying from 1 year to 2 years. We have those engines out that are out for bid now. We're looking at the end of the year, beginning of next year. So you can see with that, the time frame is decreasing some. One thing that is happening, though, is that the prices are still going up. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you could get an engine for about $500,000. Now they're about $1 million a piece. Ladder trucks were about 1.2. They're about 1.8 now. So that is not changing right now. So I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that we're taking the challenge and moving on, and thank you for your support with that on approving us moving forward with our fire apparatus response plan, or our fire apparatus replacement plan. So that's pretty much all I got about that one. Community engagement. I always bring this up. QR code is still the same. This takes you to our website. We're out and about. We provide smoke alarms for free with installation. We don't just hand them out. We actually install them in our area. You just go to the website, fill it out, and we'll come put 2 of them up for you. We also do Knox box assistance. We don't put the Knox boxes in. What happens is that if you sell your house or you buy a new house and it has a Knox box on it, we will actually come and open it up and put the keys in there for you, or allow you to do that, and we close it back up. That provides you an opportunity to, if there's a non-emergency incident, we can come there and use the keys rather than destroying your door. Let's put it that way. So it's really for the business. If there is any type of incident, there's fire showing or anything like that, or we see there's a medical emergency, we're going to get in one way or the other. We got special keys. They can basically open anything. So home safety checks, we're not there to inspect your home. We're just looking at safety checks, so please call us in to do that. We do special events requests, whether it's the schools or circuses or wherever. We've had a total of 466 contacts year to date, so that's January and February. So please, again, these are just a couple of the snapshots where they visited the hospital and took little bears out to the kids and stuff up on the floor, and fire safety education to some of the seniors. Again, that's the website, or you can just go straight to our website. Interagency cooperation, Garden City Fire Department, we have a secured automatic aid agreement with them. It has been put in the CAD, and we're responding with them on calls. They're also responding to us. It's primarily the more major type calls, structure fires, entrapments, things of that nature. So that is working out really, really well. We're sharing personnel and resources to get the citizens' assistance. With Chief Menard coming back, he's at his 100th day. You probably saw some of his presentations and stuff. We have started our talks again, left over from previous time when he was chief here, and it looks good that we're going to start moving forward and working very closely together on multiple things, and we'll bring you something on that later. Upcoming things, GFSTC annual audit. We get an annual audit. They had to reschedule this April 7th. They come down to make sure we're still doing what we're supposed to do with training. They check all our truck stations, things of that nature. Again, that's April 7th. That's scheduled, and we're ready for it. Recruit graduation, which you have received invitations. That's May 6th. You have received your invitation for that, so please, we look forward to seeing you guys there if you can make it. ISO audit, we did get notified June, July. Everybody around this location will be getting audited by ISO. We're working through all the paperwork and getting everything ready now. And our next recruit school, of course, begins July 6th. It's a never-ending thing to try to keep that revolving door and get new people in. So that begins on July 6th. We already know when they're going to graduate too. So those are the upcoming things.